I have now been talking about an art form for the past 2 years. Through short videos, long videos, good ones or bad ones, I try to teach improv but also to think improv and its techniques. But there is something I haven't yet talked about. How do you learn an art? That is the reason why I hesitated to create this channel, because improv, just like any artistic discipline, isn't exactly a structure of pyramidal knowledge, like sciences for example. For example, if you want to understand the general theory of relativity, first you will have to learn the laws of gravity, referentials, electromagnetism, what is an atom, and special relativity, pyramidal knowledge. Because we are dealing with elements of knowledge that are finite, certain, for most of them, independent, and individualizing, meaning that you learn them on your own. In art, it doesn't work like this. You've never done exploring the techniques, they don't always work, they nuance each other, and they must be learned collectively. So you don't really learn techniques, you learn a process. Of course, even if I say it's a pyramid, there is still some kind of hierarchy. There are some fundamental techniques. For example, in improv, many schools start with the yes and principle. But it's not that obvious. I introduced it quite late myself. Because to understand the yes and, you need to understand the fear mechanisms, and to understand them, you need to talk about spontaneity, so about intuition, so about sensitive and emotional memory, so about the Stanislavski system, so about the magic if, so about yes and. Well, it's a chicken and egg problem. Actually, there's a whole layer of concepts that are connected, and there isn't one that is more fundamental than the other, but you still need to start somewhere. And that's why I almost never created this channel. Because it was very complicated to figure out the order of the videos. So you have to start with the first technique, then a second one, shading the first, and so on. Actually, with each new learning, we are systematically rethinking what we know. And that's called going against the usual pedagogic methods. Because, as you know, we give a lot of attention to sciences in our academic curriculum from a young age. And I don't have anything against science, I love it.
What would it look like if
a banana
orbited the Earth at 420 kilometers?
Banana.
But it still gives you a certain point of view on the world, and the problem is that it is the only one that we are given. Myself, during my first improv courses, I was looking for formulas. How to make things right, how to get an A, how to apply the technique perfectly to reduce any risk of failure. But it doesn't work like this. Because artistic knowledge is endless, I had to accept the idea of being permanently learning. Because it is uncertain, I always had to leave some room for doubt. Because they are interdependent, each new discovery was starting a revision process of everything I knew. And because it is collective, I couldn't progress on my own. I needed a group. Fortunately, there is a moment when you start to master the fundamentals. But the real catch is when you deal with advanced techniques. Because here we are talking about styles. Improv styles, that is. Because let's be honest, there is no absolute theory of improv, just like there is no absolute recipe for a good movie. Worse, some techniques contradict each other. For example, Keith Johnstone says, "Don't imitate your partner, you can't make a good scene like that." While Delclos says, "Imitate your partner, you can find a game like this." The difference is that one wants to tell a story and the other one wants to create an acting game. So during a show, you need to choose your side, my friend, otherwise you're gonna blue screen. So we have already taken a good look at the techniques relative to the three main styles of improv, but I want to go further, and I'm a bit at a stalemate because I am doomed to contradict myself from one video to another. For example, now I want to go further with storytelling, talk to you about story structures, the hero's journey and all that. But after, I want to go further with the long-form techniques, so I need to talk about how do you learn acting, so about Stanislavski, method acting, and the classic theater schools which don't agree with each other on how good acting is achieved. And to go further on the games, I need to talk about Shakespeare, Molière, how to play Brecht, which will completely go against the story structure and the acting techniques I will show you. So consider this video as your alert, figure it out. Because we are going to talk about a lot of different schools and techniques opposing, completing, shading each other, and it will be up to you to choose what you like the most, what suits you best. See you soon and go watch some improv, or even better, do some. Bye.